Lighting up the lies. That is the title of this passage. We have questions 1 to 7 as matching features or matching names. 8 to 10, true, false, not given. 11 to 13, gap filling. So let's take the questions one by one. I'm going to scan for these names first. Henry T. Greenlee, Judy Lai, Stephen Lakin, Henry T. Greenlee alone, and Marcus Rickley. So I'm looking at paragraph A. There's a name here, Sean A. Spence. It's not on my list for questions 1 to 7. So I'll just keep on scanning for more names. University of Sheffield, Quickfire Media, UK, Lilab. There's no other name in paragraph A. Paragraph B, what name is there? Cephos, Tarzana. There's no other name in paragraph B. Paragraph C, Mary Neuroscientists. There's no name in paragraph C. Wow. Okay, I can see Marcus Rickley here. To assess how fMRI and other neuroscience findings affect the law, the MacArthur Foundation put up $10 million last year to pilot for 3 years the Law and Neuroscience Project. Part of the funding will attempt to set criteria for accurate and reliable light detection using fMRI and other brain scanning technology. I think it's not possible, given the current technology, to trust the results, says Marcus Rickley, a neuroscientist at Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis, who heads the project study group on light detection. But it is not impossible to set up a research program to determine whether it's possible. Okay, a major review article last year in the American Journal of Law and Medicine by Henry T. Greenlee and Judy Lai. Okay, see those two names. That's the second name I'm seeing here. Explores the deficiencies of existing research and what may be needed. The two scholars found that light detection studies conducted so far, still less than 20 in all, failed to prove that fMRI is effective as a light detector in the real world. Okay. Number 1, the possibility hidden in emission. Possibility. This man here, what's his name? Marcus Rickley. He says it is not impossible to set up a research program to determine whether it is possible. That's the possibility in emission impossible. So I can match this number 1 statement to Marcus Rickley. Number 1, D. Then this last sentence here. fMRI. Studies failed to prove that fMRI is effective as a light detector. That will be matched to which statement? Number 2, the uncertain effectiveness of fMRI. Number 2 can be matched to, what's their name now? A. Number 2 can be matched to A. Can we use a letter more than once? Yes, we can. Number 3, hazard line behind the technology as a light detector. No. Limited fields for the use of light detection. No. Several successful cases of applying. No. Cons of current research related to light detector tests. There should be some requested work to improve the techniques regarding. There should be some requested work to improve the techniques regarding light detection. That's sounding like this statement again. Except that word says improve. To improve. Let me go on. Most studies examined groups, not individuals. Subjects in these studies were healthy young adults, making it unclear how the results would apply to someone who takes drugs. who takes a drug that affects blood pressure or has blockade in an artery. And the two researchers questioned the specificity of the lit up areas. They noted that the regions also correlate with a wide range of cognitive behaviors, including memory, self-monitoring, and conscious self-awareness. Okay. Let me read on. The biggest challenge for the law and neuroscience project is already funding new research, is how to diminish the artificiality of the test protocol. Lying about whether a playing card is the seven of spades may not activate the same area of the cortex as answering a question about whether you robbed the corner store. In fact, the most realistic studies to date may have come from the Lie Lab television programs. Two companies marketing the technology are not waiting for more data. Cephus is offering scans without charge to people who claim they were falsely accused if they meet certain criteria in an effort to get scans accepted by the court. Allowing scans as legal evidence could open a potentially huge and lucrative market. We may have to take many shots on goal before we actually see a courtroom, says Cephus Chief Executive Stephen. Is there Cephus on the list? No, it's not on the list. Hold on. Cephus Chief Executive Steve Lakin. Oh, Steve Lakin is there on the list. The limited fields, no. Several successful cases of applying, no. There should be some requested work to improve, no. I don't think we can match Lakin to anything yet. He asserts that technology has achieved 97% accuracy, and that the more than 100 people scanned using Cephus protocol have provided data that have resolved many issues that Greenlee and IELTS cited. This is getting interesting. Number 8. I've not seen Europe yet. What of the gap filling? It is claimed that functional magnetic resonance imaging can check lies by observing the internal parts of the brain rather than following up dash. Okay. That one, I saw functional MRI at the beginning. By observing internal parts of the brain. Internal parts of the brain. To assess our fMRI and others. Okay, hold on. An fMRI machine tracks blood flow to activated brain areas. Track blood flow. Tracks blood flow by observing internal parts of the brain rather than following up. The assumption in lie detection is that the brain must exert extra effort when telling a lie, and that regions that do more work get more blood. Such areas light up in scans during lie studies. The illuminated regions are primarily involved in decision making. It is claimed that functional magnetic resonance imaging can check lies by observing the internal part of the brain rather than following up dash to evaluate anxiety. Anxiety. I'm looking at paragraph B. Is there anything like anxiety in paragraph B? No, no, no. What of paragraph A? I can't see anxiety in paragraph A either. Wow, this is a tough one. Let's go on. Paragraph G now. But until formal clinical trials prove that the machines meet safety and effectiveness criteria, Greenlee and Lillis have called for a ban on non-research uses. Trials envisaged for regulatory approval hint at the technical challenges. Hold on, there's one place about improvements. Improvement something something. Number 7, there should be some requested work to improve technique regarding light detection. Number 7 can be matched to A. Let me write number 7 for A, based on this thing I just read now. That until formal clinical trials prove that the machines meet safety and effectiveness required. In other words, until they improve this thing and they are sure that they are safe and effective. That's what I think. Trials envisaged for regulatory approval hint at technical challenges. Actors, professional poker players, and sociopaths will be compared against average Joes. The devout would go in the scanner after non-believers. Testing would take into account social settings, white lies, no, dinner really was fantastic. White lies would have to be compared against untruths about sexual peccadillos to ensure that the brain reacts identically. There are potential for abuse prompts caution. The danger is that people's lives can be changed in bad ways because of mistakes in technology, Greenlee says. Okay, the hazard. Number 3, the hazard lying in the technology. Number 3 is going to be matched to Greenlee. Number 3 is going to be C, based on this sentence here. The danger, that's a paraphrase for hazard. The danger for the science is that it gets a black eye because of this very high-profile use of neuroimaging that goes wrong. Considering the long and controversial history of polygraph, gradualism may be the wisest course to follow for a new diagnostic that probes the essential quality governing social interaction. Wow, I've finished reading the entire passage and I still have a lot of questions to solve. The lie detection for a convicted woman was first conducted by researchers in Europe. Oh, Europe was in paragraph A. Sheffield, England is Europe. The lie detection for a convicted woman was first conducted by researchers in Europe. Last year, Sean A. Spence, a professor at the School of Medicine, performed brain scan that showed that a woman convicted of poisoning her child appeared to be telling the truth when she denied committing the crime. This number 8 is true. The legitimization of using scans in courts might mean a promising and profitable business. Yeah, I saw that somewhere. That place where they mentioned Cephos. Where is that Cephos? Yeah, this place. He asserts that the technology has achieved 90%. Let me go back now. Okay, yeah, 2 companies. Look at it here. The 2 companies marketing the technology are not waiting for more data. Cephos is offering scans without charge to people who claim they were falsely accused. Allowing scans as legal evidence could open a potentially huge and lucrative market. Number 9 says the legitimization of using scans in courts might mean a promising. Number 9 is true, based on that part I just highlighted now. Number 10, there's always something wrong with neuroimaging. There's always something wrong. There's always something wrong. I'm not sure that can be supported by this passage. hold on. The danger for the science is that it gets a black eye because of this very high profile use of neuroimaging that goes wrong. There's always something wrong with neuroimaging. Because of this very high profile use of neuroimaging that goes wrong. That's not supporting this statement. Number 10. Not giving. Number 8. The lie detection for a convicted criminal was first. This thing that says first. Let me check. Is there first in that place? Last year, Sean A. Spence, the professor, performed brain scans that showed that the woman convicted of poisoning her child appeared to be telling the truth. These deception studies, along with 2 others performed by the Sheffield Group, was funded by the brain study of the woman later that appeared in Journal European Psychiatry. We don't know whether it's the first though. This thing says first. It just clicked now that first is a very important keyword in true, false, not given. We are not sure if it is the first. Europe. Number 10. So I've done not giving, true, not giving. Well, let me move to number... all this matching information. I still have a lot. I still have 3 of them. Cons of current research. Cons of the current research related to lie detector tests. Cons. Cons means the disadvantages. Who talked about that? Current research. That would be Greenlee. That would be Greenlee. C. Could it be current research? Cons of the current research related to lie detector tests. Then number 4, the limited fields for the use of lie detection. The limited fields for the use of lie detection technology. The limited fields. Henry T. Greenlee. Greenlee is showing up a lot. Stephen Lakin has not showed up at all. Stephen Lakin is option B. Where is Stephen Lakin here? See Stephen Lakin here. He asserts that technology has achieved 97% accuracy and that more than 100 people scanned using Cephal's protocol have provided data that have resolved many cases, many issues. That's number 5. Number 5 can be matched to Stephen Lakin. Number 5 is B. Number 5 is B. That's 97% accuracy. So that's successful cases. Several. And then it says 100 people scanned. So number 5 should be B. That's Stephen Lakin. What of number 4? The limited fields for the use of lie detection technology. Limited fields. Limited fields. Where are names? Where are the names? Until former clinical trials, Greenlee and Ellis have called for ban on non-research uses. Actors, professional pokers, they devout to go into the scanner. There is potential for abuse. Their potential for abuse prompts caution. Their potential for abuse prompts caution, says Greenlee. Yeah, that's number 3. The limited fields. The cons of current research related to the lie detector tests. Cons refers to the disadvantages. Okay. Judy Ills. The two scholars found that lie detection studies conducted have failed to prove the cons. I think I'm going to match this number 6 to A. Number 6. That means I've used A 3 times. Wow. I've used A 3 times. What of B? I've used B once. I've used C 2. What of D? I've used D 2. Okay. The limited fields for the use of lie detection technology. Several studies examined groups, not individuals. The two researchers questioned the specificity of lit-up areas. The biggest challenge, lying about whether playing a card. In fact, the most realistic studies up to date until former clinical trials proved that the machines meet safety required. There is potential for abuse. The potential for abuse prompts caution. I'm not really sure of this number 4. Truth was not given. What of the gap filling? I've not done any. Audiences as well as Dash are fascinated by this, as well as Dash are fascinated by this amazing lie detection technology. Which lie detection technology? Fascinated. No, I'm looking for something that sounds like fascinated. Many neuroscientists and legal scholars doubt such claims, and some even question whether brain scans will ever be ready for anything but more research. So, MacArthur Foundation, part of the funding would attempt to set up criteria for reliable lie detection. This issue of fascinated, I can't say it too. Wow. Cephas protocol have provided data that have resolved many of the issues that Greenlee and Ellis cited. Okay. Last year, Sean Pence, the deception study along with two others performed by the Sheffield Group was funded by Quickfire Media, which broadcasts videos of the researchers at work as part of a 3-part series. Functional MRI purports to detect mendacity by seeing inside the brain instead of tracking peripheral. Anxiety. Number 11. It's claimed that functional MRI imaging can check lies by observing internal parts of the brain rather than following up what? Polygraph. Rather than following up a polygraph. Okay? Which, by seeing inside the brain, instead of tracking peripheral measures of anxiety. rather than following up a polygraph to evaluate anxiety. This number 11 should be a polygraph. A polygraph. As dash does. Rather than following up, hold on. This number 12 should be polygraph, as a polygraph does. As a polygraph does. Then number 11 should be something else. Rather than following up peripheral measures. Peripheral measures. As a polygraph does. Audiences as well as Dash are fascinated. I can see hundreds of thousands of viewers here. As well as entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs. Wow. This passage has taken a lot of time. Number 4 now that, I don't know. I'm going to just pick anything for this number 4. Let me just pick Stephen Lake for number 4. B. I'm not really sure. Let's submit and see what my score will be. Interesting. I got 7.5. Number 4 that I picked B for is the one that I got wrong. The others were right. And then number 8 too is supposed to be true. Number 8 is supposed to be true instead of not giving. Number 8. I wrote true for it, and I'll change my mind. First. How is it the first? Last year, a professor at the School of Medicine performed brain scan that showed that a woman convicted of poisoning her child in care appeared to be telling the truth. This deception study, along with 2 others performed by the Sheffield Group, was funded by this as part of a 3-part series. The brain study of the woman later appeared. How is it the first? Did they mention that it's the first? Which part of the passage mentions that it's the first? fMRI has pulled in entrepreneurs. 2 companies. Wow. Well, maybe based on the overall context of this passage, it may be the first. But I can't really see the word first in this passage. Okay, then which other one did I get wrong? I think I got I got the matching information wrong. The matching names. Number 4, the limited fields for the use of lie detection. The answer is A. Henry T. Greenlee and Judy Hills. Okay, limited fields. Alright, it's those 2 guys that mentioned it. Wow, this has been a long one. I think I'm going to pause here for now. Thank you very much. I hope you followed me all the way till the end. It's a long one, very tough one. Thank you very much.